Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tony Khan.
Oh,
Bro,
so I was thinking, whose birthday, yeah?
It's our good friend Tony Khan's birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
Best booker of the century. It's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building, bro. Perfect timing, bro.
Yeah.
You know why also it's such a great day as well?
Why?
It's World Mental Health Day, bro. How appropriate that is Tony Khan's birthday.
Okay, all joking aside, right? The dude really does need to take a chill pill, relax a bit. I think he's working himself a bit too hard. Like, I get the fandom. I get wanting to be in control of everything and be hands in there. I mean, let's be real. If you or I had the money, we had the clout to bring in all our favorite wrestlers, I think we will also bend to their wheels a little bit, wouldn't we?
Of course. Wait. We gotta set some context here, Mister. Before we dive right in, 5 seconds into the show, talk about Tony Khan already, lah.
Wow.
What's this about? What are you setting up here, Mister Young?
Well, I'm setting up the fact that he is in for a hell of a birthday surprise on Title Tuesday when NXT lays the... Okay. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
But, man, it's like, I don't know, the AEW, okay, we can all agree, right, has been kind of, unless you are a diehard AEW fan, but you know my stance here, AEW has been kind of meh recently, but it's really been the outside of the in-ring product, the rumors, the innuendo, the circumstances surrounding the entire product that has made it interesting for me.
I see. But the thing is, right, the thing about AEW is it was never about the in-ring product. I mean, the last time people talk about, wow, what a great show, match, segment, and all that kind of stuff, it's few and far between, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, we got to give credit where AEW is due, in the sense that for them, right, they are always giving the clickbait. You know what I mean? They are keeping the wrestling news cycle humming along, and they're giving us things to talk about. So, I mean, I ain't gonna hate on that, right?
No, absolutely. I was just about to jump in, thank you to AEW for, if anything, sort of lighting the fire under the WWE's ass as well. Because if not for Title Tuesday, there would be no stacked NXT, right? Let's be real.
Yeah, so you gotta credit Tony Khan. So if NXT delivers a great, memorable show, you gotta say, hey, you know what? They want to also level the playing field with their competition. And Dave Royalty just said something really, really great. Let's not forget about another person's birthday as well, the late, great Eddie Guerrero. Viva
Latino
La Raza,
Heat! Yes, Viva La Raza.
October is a great month, bro. October, all my favorite wrestlers' birthday, bro. Huh?
Yeah, that's true.
All my favorite Scorpio wrestlers are. It's not just do you know that I share a very close birthday with AEW's newest signee? Do you know that?
Do you really?
Yeah. Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland's birthday, I believe, is on 30th October or 31st October. I can't remember, but I know it's just 1 or 2 days away from mine.
So it's on the edge of your birthday? Is that what you're saying? Okay, I'll be here all week. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to Taiwan on Thursday night, so I will not be in the building next week.
Awesome. So wait, so this is your send off. We're gonna have this podcast on a good note. We're gonna go on another short break, I believe.
Yeah, short break. I don't send off. Macam I'm leaving forever. No. We'll be back next week, and I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. But yes, I mean, the state of wrestling right now it's just fun. And to anyone who's like, oh, WWE is being petty, I mean, what do you think they were going to do? Just, okay, you know what? Tony Khan is having a big show on Tuesday. Let's put out the shittiest show possible. Of course not. Like, come on, let's be real here. You know what I mean? Now, it can be argued that they went a little bit overboard to the point of memedom.
Bro, if you got gongs coming in at the end of NXT commercial, right? What's going on here, bro? Come on, seriously.
They're literally stacking the deck. And Tony Khan, to his credit, he said he won't take it lying down in one of these press conferences, right? We just saw the news earlier today. The first half hour of Dynamite will be commercial free.
Okay, here's the thing, right? If you are really not afraid or you don't consider AEW competition, perhaps some people might want to go against the rational thinking and say that, right? Why won't NXT just do a normal show? Like they're completely unaffected. Like, oh, okay, they want a match against us. Why? Whatever. I'm gonna do a normal show.
I don't think that it's you see the idea that they are afraid means it implies competition. I think I don't know if someone shared it on the Discord, but the best quote I saw about this was, I'm not in competition with a mosquito, but I sure as hell am gonna smack it if the thing is buzzing around me, right?
Alright, so you do it just because you can. You flex just because you can, right?
And also, I mean, let's be real. It's Adam Copeland. They respect him enough to know, okay, this fella got some following. He might take away some viewers from NXT. And let's not forget, WWE is also trying to shop around NXT and Raw. So they need NXT's numbers to be legit before they sell the product. This is a business decision through and through. And they can't have 1 week just because Tony Kana, his show moved to Tuesday. He can't afford, or WWE can't afford to have their one show suffer just because of that. And let's be real honest here as well. For us, this doesn't affect any of us in Asia. Actually, this is a non-factor because we watch it on demand anyway. Like, I'm going to watch NXT on WWE Network one day later, so it's not going to matter, right? I'm not going to watch Dynamite live because I have a life. I have work to do, you know what I mean? So,
dear God, yes.
This is really a corporate business decision because they are trying to sell the NXT product. It's as simple as that. Let's not get so crazy.
Of course. I mean, I'm sure Endeavor has their own, business goals with what they want to do with NXT.
Yeah.
And the thing is, AEW didn't purposely go to Tuesday as well. I mean, they were bumped out because of I think American football, something along those lines.
Some sports.
So it's just a happenstance, circumstance, right?
Yeah.
Will we ever see a day where Dynamite and NXT go up head to head again? That I don't think will ever happen on purpose. I don't think. NXT will purposely, you know what, we're going to take a Wednesday slot just because we can. It's not good business as well for the network. If a network purposely airs a show knowing that, they have competition on that day, it will be just bad business move, right? So,
But it would be fun for us wrestling fans, wouldn't it? It would be the Wednesday Night Wars, the Monday Night Wars all over again. And if anything, it'll make NXT must-watch TV.
Yeah, that's the thing is, right? I think we should be grateful because right now I believe we are living in one of the hottest periods of wrestling in at least 10, 20 years, right?
Okay, hang on though. Is this more to do with WWE and what Papa H has been doing, or because of AEW? If you took AEW out of the equation altogether, right? And yes, we just credited AEW for lighting a fire under the WWE, but really, it's just for this Tuesday only, I have a feeling, honestly, in my gut, Triple H has something to prove. And this is nothing new about Triple H. He's done this with NXT Black and Gold. So it's just, when I watch the current WWE product, it feels like NXT Black and Gold.
I see where you're coming from. But what I'm saying is, as a wrestling fan, I think this is the best time to kind of be a wrestling fan.
Sure.
Not only the fact that, WWE is firing on all cylinders, having Triple H in the helm, they also have an alternative. And I think for better or for worse, right, having an alternative is always great. Because you can't just have McDonald's running the show, you gotta have options. And it's great for the viewer as well.
And yes, I agree with you on that. And I also would like to add that if the alternative were better and more competitive, then we'll see WWE up their programming as well. I'm not saying that WWE is on cruise control because AEW is sort of bleh right now, but WWE would be like, oh, actually they're starting to do some good stuff. Better buck up, and then, then that's when things get exciting. Really, truly hot for wrestling fans, and not just us hardcore wrestling fans. Let's not forget, we are the ones who will pay attention. Most people don't even know who Adam Copeland is, who Hangman Page is, and stuff like that. So why would they care about the product?
Okay, so here's something really, really interesting, a stat that I kind of came across, right? At TNA's hottest period, maybe when Hulk Hogan just joined or right before Main Event Mafia, apparently TNA was pulling in ratings of 2 million and above on Spike TV.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is Spike TV, right, is I do not know. I don't know what's a good comparison. Probably AXN or something, in Singapore context, it's not a big channel, but you can pull in 2 million viewers.
But they did have Raw on its network for a while, right? Remember Raw moved to Spike TV for a while?
Yes, correct. So what I'm saying is I feel in terms of the name value of wrestlers, a decade ago, for sure, people would know, who is a Kevin Nash, who's a Booker T, Kurt Angle. Those are bigger stars going to a rival company. So people will definitely watch.
Yep.
What AEW has going against it is right now, there's not a lot of mainstream stars. Most of it is in WWE. To create a homegrown star is so difficult. They've been successful, I would say, maybe with MJF.
Bro, hang on.
Yeah.
They've been successful. You just said it. Who else, though? They've been successful with one guy.
Yes, exactly, right? So that's the point I'm trying to get to, right? They are struggling because right now it's so hard in this environment to build an organic star. And if I were to bet, like, you know what? If I were to choose have somebody take care of my career, right?
Yeah.
I would trust WWE right now to kind of build my career, which is what Jade Cargill has essentially confessed to, right?
Absolutely.
By her actions.
Yeah. Why would you leave it up to Tony Khan when you could leave it up to Papa H? And here's the thing. Now that Vince is out of the picture, all the more as a young, up and rising, quote-unquote, potential megastar, you would rather leave it in the hands of Triple H than, like Tony Khan, right? And Vince is gone. His influence, some of it is still there, let's be real. But also, now, like, I mean, it's good times to be a fan of the WWE, especially. I'm not going to lie. But, and also now that, without the Vince sort of controlling everything, right? You get that whole, like, everyone can go anywhere sort of a vibe. And I know some people were like, hey, what's going on? Why are Raw guys showing up on SmackDown? Okay, I think somebody pointed that out on our Discord, right? Yes. I'll just say this. We've seen this happen at around a certain time every single year. I mean, come on. Yeah. It's a setup for Survivor Series, is it not?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's also a solid point. But also another thing is, right, you can't really trust WWE's commitment to things. Like, for me, right, I would compare WWE being serious about the draft to us making New Year's resolution that we're going to lose weight every year. You know what I mean? We're going to be super gung-ho the first few months. I think by the time October comes around, I haven't stepped in the gym for at least a few months. You know what I mean?
They
so
play
it's the same.
They play it fast and loose, which is fine. Like, I mean, really, is it really that big a deal?
I mean, I wish they bothered. I mean, I wish they took it seriously, because if they take things seriously, we fans take it seriously, right?
Yeah. Okay, McJohn Mouse, what's up? Brings up a good point about Darby Allin. For McJohn, he was the next AEW breakout star. And I agree. Remember? There was a time where he was super hot. And then what happened?
I mean,
they never followed up with him.
Yeah, for Ricky Starks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think this is what we mean by AEW had the potential for so many breakout stars that they just fumbled the ball with for whatever reason. Wardlow, remember?
Yeah. I was just about to say the biggest ball fumbler, Wardlow. He had to keep heating up his heat so many times, because of what, Tony Khan essentially has done to his career. But here's the thing, right? Like, I also feel like having AEW there is also great to build your clout. Like, you know what I mean? It's another way to get famous beyond WWE, you know what I mean? And then come back and, like, again, Jade Cargill as well.
It's a place to go and get the reps in, experience, blah, blah, blah. And then you move on to the big leagues after you've built your name. Absolutely. No, it's great for the pro wrestlers because there's another employment opportunity, for lack of a better term, right?
Yeah. But I would say, right, if AEW were to thrive as a very solid, flourishing number 2, they really need to get their timing right. Like, if they were to capture lightning in a bottle, for example, timeless Tony Storm, right? You got to see her promos, you got to see some of her matches. Like, okay, there's something there, right? They got to nurture it, they got to build it, they got to pull the trigger when it's hot. You know, LA Knight, for example, in WWE. I mean, debatable. They might have taken a bit of time to get there.
It's fine. He's still hot right now, so it's not a big deal.
Correct. So I feel like they gotta have somebody there who can spot heat building up well and push them to the moon. So that's the thing that they are lacking, right? Because they don't. It's not that they don't have any potential. Right? All the wrestlers there have the potential.
But you have to understand who's booking the damn thing. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to the birthday boy.
Indeed. How old is he? Is he like gonna hit 40 soon or something?
I have no idea, but maybe he needs to slow down and let somebody else. Like, I mean, you talk about the number of veterans that they have there. It's crazy to think, right, that they haven't been able to capitalize on all the heat and the goodwill, and now all the guys that we were hyped for, like, all cool down, completely cold. The product is cold.
Miro,
yes, Miro. Even Powerhouse Hobbs at one point, he was like, okay, come up and then.
But again, I think Powerhouse Hobbs right now, him being aligned to Don Callis, I think hopefully there's something there. They're gonna right a lot of their wrongs, lah.
He's with Don Callis, the Callis family now.
Oh yes. Okay. So basically, what happened on Dynamite last week was that he was like the surprise. They're building his family, right?
Yeah.
His family faction. I think he was a surprise. He attacked Kenny Omega. So, bro, low-key, that is a bubbling faction there. You got Takeshita, you got Sammy Guevara, you got Powerhouse Hobbs. So, I hope they get the rub, of being in that Don Callis faction as well. Better than QT Marshall Kennedy, bro.
Oh, God.
Dear
Okay.
God. Yeah.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit before we get into NXT versus AEW. Let's talk about the PLE that happened this past weekend. Oh, by the way, everybody, if you haven't already joined the Discord, feel free. We always talk about wrestling there. The community is very super ons with all the latest news. Sometimes it breaks before even I can read it. Yeah.
Love you guys.
Go check out the Discord right now. Link is in the bio and, of course, in the description. And, of course, if you'd like to take your support for the podcast to the next level, you can always check out our Patreon as well. It helps us, keeps the lights on, as it were.
Keeps us going. Every time I see like, there's support there, I will do this podcast just for you guys, bro. So that's the whole point. Yes.
Sure. Okay. Let's talk about Fastlane. What was your hype before going into Fastlane, bro? And guys, in chat, please let us know what your hype was going into Fastlane and what your final score is as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I judge my hype right by whether I'm willing to resubscribe to WWE Network.
Oh boy.
Like I'm a very clear cut guy. If I find that the product is good, worth me spending my money on, I will spend on it. I will buy a AEW pay-per-view if the card is great. I will, resubscribe to my Netflix. I just resubscribe to Netflix because I wanted to watch the David Beckham documentary, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I gotta say, like, Fastlane made me subscribe to the WWE Network. So, hey, WWE did a good job. You know why? Because I was hyped after watching SmackDown, and they had that Attitude Era running towards the end where all the baby faces, even one time Cody Rhodes come back to SmackDown just to face off against the Bloodline. Well, like that, that built up my hype. So I was saying, going into the show, my hype was there for sure.
Yeah, and once again, right, that whole thing is a setup for the big Survivor Series tag match, and this harkens back to the 80s, bro. Like, man, I used to love, like, all the gimmick pay-per-views were always my favorite. Rumble, but also Survivor Series. Remember when Survivor Series, every match was 4v4, 5v5? Almost every match.
Yes. Yeah. Every match had like people coming together and they have like a team USA, kind of thing.
There was always team. But okay, and then as they move forward, they made it more like, okay, just 1 or 2 Survivor Series matches. And then they had War Games, that 1 year. Whatever. As long as it's team versus team. Well, obviously they're setting up some sort of Bloodline versus Cody and his friends, sort of a big, maybe it's War Games or just a traditional Survivor Series match, whatever it is. My prediction is, like, we got Crown Jewel before Survivor Series, right?
Yes, correct.
In the next few weeks, expect a lot of cross-brand, I interfere here, I help here, all that kind of stuff. You gotta expect it. It's kind of like when NXT invaded. Like, every year, like when they were doing it well, there was some sort of a theme, right? And this year, I think that's what it is. It's gonna be Bloodline versus the good guys.
Yeah, sure. But I don't know whether they're starting it a bit earlier this year. Like, they haven't even gotten through Crown Jewel yet.
It's fine. Because I tell you what, Crown Jewel main event, I'm going to call it right now, though I don't even know what the main event is. Crown Jewel main event will end in a big schmoz. Setting up the Survivor Series.
Okay. I would say depends on what Roman Reigns does this Friday, I guess Saturday morning on SmackDown. Because, again, they have already announced ahead of time, Roman Reigns will be coming back after, I think, almost a 2 months hiatus, bro.
Yeah, 2-month break.
Bro, love it, bro. 8 days, 8 weeks of leave. Can you imagine, bro? You take 8 weeks of leave. I love it. So that's my hype. What about you, bro? How was Fastlane for you going into the show?
It was like, my hype level was like a 6 or 7, It just, it felt like a B plus PLE going in. Like, you know, it's like, okay, this is not one of the main ones. It's kind of meh. For a non-main PLE, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was like what Dave Royalty said. That's a very good way of putting it. It was a fun, easy watch. You know?
Yes. Okay.
And that's what the WWE have been doing so well. All their PLEs have been fun, easy watches, as opposed to AEW where they just give you a 6-hour pay-per-view and you feel like you're doing homework. You know, just
bro,
you feel tired after watching.
Bro, 5 hours, 6 hour pay-per-view, and then after that must stay another 2 hours for the press scrum.
Press scrum, right? It's like
granted, the press scrum to me is the most entertaining part of the shows, like personally for me. So
depending on who is there, right? But like I literally had this feeling after the PLE ended. I was like, oh, over already, yeah. Like, and I haven't felt that way in a long time, you know, because these shows are still 3 hours long, right? But it felt easy to watch, which I actually, you know, as a busy man with lots of work to do, I appreciate.
Yeah, and I think WWE has been on the roll. I mean, we can acknowledge the fact that, you know, they've been really making their B-level pay-per-views memorable in some ways, right? Yeah. Like you know, it started off with Elimination Chamber this year, Sami Zayn's story, right?
Yeah.
And then making Backlash in Puerto Rico, you know, a great decision as well, still memorable to this day. Even Money in the Bank. I mean, Money in the Bank was in London, right?
Yeah.
So all these things felt like there was a hook to the show. I would dare say maybe Payback and Fastlane, the last two pay-per-views, has kind of like, okay, it's a bit of a downward slope because it's nothing really happened per se. We had a lot of expectations of what was going to happen this Fastlane as well. But I would say like it kind of went down to the mean, you know, like you go back down to the like what you expect out of a B level, but it's still, like you mentioned, an easy watch for me as well.
Yeah, the average has been raised, if that's the point that you're going for. And, you know, it feels like one of the middle episodes of a season of a show. You know, you got your start, always explosive start, explosive end. The middle is sort of like all right, let's just progress some of the storylines. Nothing major or fancy. That it felt like that way for me for Fastlane. So let's jump into it. First match, you had Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus the Judgment Day, and
oh my god.
Yeah, right off the bat. Okay, so did you expect that they would switch the title so fast?
Okay, here's interesting thing, right? Like most people forget that Collision was happening around the same time.
Wow.
Okay, but here's the thing, because when I started watching Fastlane, I saw the news filtering through on X or Twitter or whatever it is that FTR dropped their titles.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself like, oh, that's random as fuck. Okay. And then for some reason, right, that thought, right, stayed on me when I was watching this match. You get, so like I wasn't expecting Judgment Day to lose, but I almost felt like in the back of my mind, why not? Like would Triple H want to do something weird just to kind of pop the crowd, just to get a surprise victory on the Fastlane, on a pay-per-view, make it a more noteworthy event? After the you know the count of three and the bell rung, I was thinking to myself like, yeah, probably he's doing it for, I'm not saying for the vibes lah, but he's doing it just to kind of pop a reaction, in my opinion. That was my thoughts.
Okay, I don't know if it's to pop a reaction. Definitely got a reaction, right? But I think that this was planned. I feel like they are trying to tell this Judgment Day story with Damian Priest. Like, you know, like he needs to break out of the group. Or if is Finn Balor going to break out of the group? They are still trying to build that tension. And I know it's been like, when's the freaking payoff? If there's something that WWE has been doing recently, it's giving us blue balls.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? With the bloodline stuff, and then now here you can see hints of that. Like when is someone going to turn on somebody right here? And then you had, of course, JD McDonald's. He was the one who kind of cost them, right? And then JD McDonald's has been trying to join the group, blah blah blah, that whole thing. So,
bro, okay, JD McDonald is like a poor man Sami Zayn. You know what I mean? Like, if it was me, right? I was part of Judgment Day, right? My whole gang will start beating him out already. Like, fuck this guy, lah. You just keep screwing with us, you know what I mean?
It is Pop Funko looking mofo.
Oh, dear God, yeah.
That's the thing though, like, you're right. Like, he doesn't have the charisma of a Sami Zayn, even though he's clearly trying to be positioned in that role, right? As the smaller guy trying to join the big group.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even like Spike Dudley, you know, when Dudley was trying to prove himself in the Dudley Boys, right?
Yeah.
He was doing crazy shit. He was being memorable. He was saying things. I don't know, like he did. If he had the mic skills to kind of get on it and be that annoying Jamie Noble kind of like heel, people will still give him some sort of attention. But he's just, I haven't really heard him talk. Like, there's nothing memorable.
It's probably better if he doesn't talk. He's not great. Yeah. Like, I watched a bit of his NXT run and none of it felt solid. Like, they tried to make him like this, like, you know, this like a cerebral, like he will target joints and he's very, like, how do I put it? Like he's a smaller guy, but he makes up for it by being very brutal. We've seen none of that here.
Bro, Ilya Dragunov has done that and better. You know what I mean?
No. The vibe is different. Ilya Dragunov is like this guy who is a Wolverine, a rabbit Wolverine.
Yes.
This guy, what's his face? JD McDonald's is more like a snake, like a slithering viper in the weeds, for lack of a better term. You know, he needs to be more cerebral. Is my point. He needs
I see.
Like screw with people's heads and purposely do something very dastardly. What's a dastardly thing we haven't seen a guy do in a while?
Bro, if it was me, right, I would probably, if they really want to make JD McDonald an interesting character, he should come in and go flirt with Rhea Ripley lah. Cause the dissension within the bloodline by trying to hit on Rhea Ripley, make Dominic a jealous lover. You know, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like that kind of friction, people will stay for that. You know what I mean?
Then have Dom drop the North American title and JD McDonough win it.
Exactly. Like, you know what? I wanna impress Rhea. I'm gonna win this for you, and then he does it.
Yeah. Right? And then Dom's like, and then now you have more friction. Well, I mean, all this fantasy booking at the end of the day. Oh, excuse me. If anything, right, okay, so back to Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, them winning the titles gives them the opportunity to float between two brands, because that's the whole point. Now you need them to float between two brands. Cody needs to reignite his, feud with Roman Reigns a bit, right, leading into Survivor Series.
That's one thing that I find very interesting about this partnership between Cody and Jey, right? Because the real friendship, isn't it, between Jey and Sami Zayn?
Yeah,
right.
But well, that's the thing. The whole Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens story is like an aside now. They are clearly setting up Jey versus Jimmy, Cody versus Roman. If Cody Roman doesn't happen, then it's Rock Roman, Cody CM Punk. But for the time being, Cody Roman has history. Jey Jimmy has history. It all leads up to Survivor Series, where they finally have that big group battle.
Interestingly, right, I wanted to bring this up because, I mean, I don't know whether you had time to catch Raw, but basically what happened was, they were celebrating the titles, and then all of a sudden, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn returns.
Yes.
And they had a segment, and actually that was the main event. They actually fought each other for the titles.
And they shook hands after, right? There's quote-unquote respect.
Correct. So, essentially, I don't know whether they wanted to get that story out of the way so they can move on to their bigger storylines.
Yeah.
But I feel I don't know lah, Sami Zayn and Jey, that story feels like there's still more to be told there. And Sami and Kevin Owens seems to be pushed to the side.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of all this that's happening. So, I don't know.
Maybe, you know what it is? Like, it's like, okay, it's not your turn lah. Now it's not your turn to get to shine. Somebody else's turn. You know?
Yes.
That's what I feel it is in this sort of tag team storyline. And unfortunately, because they have so many people and they're trying to push certain agendas and certain storylines, it's bound to happen, lor.
Isn't it a good thing though that I would say the tag team scene, I think, is flourishing because now you got it on Sami. Even though Sami and Kevin didn't win it, they're still a pretty strong tag team.
Yeah,
Jey and Cody is the champions. Over on SmackDown we got Jimmy and Solo being a thing, and of course if you watch Raw, the return of DIY reforming as well, and apparently they're gonna start a feud with Kaiser and Da Vinci. So there's gonna be some situation going on between Gunther, Imperium and all of that. So it's good that they're building back up the depth of the division.
Yeah, and over on SmackDown, of course, we have the Street Profits, we have the LWO, which we will get to in just a little while. Actually, you know what? Let's just jump right into that, okay? So the Latino World Order. And I was like, okay, Ray and Santos versus Bobby and the Street Profits, right? Who's going to be the third man? Because they took out the other two jobbers.
Dear God.
The two lackeys. I'm sorry lah, but the whole point of building a faction is to raise everybody up, right? But these two really just like, what, Del Cruz, Del Toro, and the other fella.
Raul Mendoza, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they like just really, they just seem like two jobbers in the background half
Bro,
the time.
if you swap them out with Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, no one would notice. Bro.
I think they would be better, bro.
Notice.
I think Humberto and Angel Garza would be better because they're more handsome. So you got two Lotharios in there,
Yeah.
But
bring back Los Lotharios, bro. Come on.
Yeah. So it was interesting because here's the problem, like social media problem. I watched this after the fact. I didn't watch it live, right? So the second I woke up, I'm like, shit, I got it spoiled already on my TikTok. So I couldn't watch this with the who's gonna be the third man vibe. Did you manage to watch it live?
Yes, I did, bro. Such a shame, bro. Because honestly, it makes so much sense, but in the moment, I had no idea who it was gonna be. Right. I was really thinking like, who? I thought for some reason in my head it was like Juventud is gonna come back. Or fucking Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo.
Ooh, Chavo. So like I had all these like very random legends thought. Then I'm thinking to myself, but then when Carlito came out, and it wasn't his OG classic, spit in the face, so people who don't want to be cool. But he said something like, that's cool. Okay, you kind of know it was the moment, but then the music was like complete trash. I didn't listen after that. But as he was running, right, that 5 seconds it took me to process it was Carlito. I was like, hey, didn't this fella sign with WWE like a year back or something?
Yeah.
Right, he officially signed back, right?
Yeah, he came at the Rumble, right? And then he like didn't show up for a while. Were they waiting? Like, okay, we know we're gonna do LWO. You go start, you wait for half a year.
Yeah, and then Backlash. Remember Backlash? He came back.
For
that huge Puerto Rico like debut. But maybe that was because for him easy lah. Just walk down from the house, can reach the stadium. Okay, fine. But maybe that's it, right? They're trying to build up a storyline so that it makes sense for Carlito to come, which I think is good. They're not shoehorning him.
Okay, so where does this lead to, right? So obviously Carlito comes back, he has to get the win. I kind of feel bad for Bobby and Street Profits because they were kind of building some sort of momentum. I hated that, Carlito's return came at the expense of the Street Profits, or Street Lashley, or Hurt Profits. I don't know what the hell they call themselves.
Well, I feel like there is some silver lining there. You kind of give the loss to Street Profits. Bobby Lashley gets angrier, pushes them more towards the dark side. Yeah. Because the whole point of them, losing previously, Lashley was like, "Give me back all the suits." I don't want anyone who's not a winner. And then they showed their vicious side, right? Yeah. So that story can be continue being told in that sense.
Isn't it the same story with Gunther and Imperium? And his two guys, like, he chopped them, he like scolded them because they lost to Alpha Academy, all that kind of shit. So it's like, hey, same story, bro, on both sides.
Just different color.
Yeah, different people only, that's all. Different shades, as it were. Different styles.
But what about Carlito's position? What do you think is going to happen with LW now that Carlito is in the picture, in the mix?
I hope it leads to friction between Carlito and Santos. And Santos will be like, I was supposed to be, the contender for the US. It has to be about the US title, right?
Yeah. You know what? I know Carlito's run because I think that was the time when I was really watching wrestling religiously, 2004, 2005, 2006. Carlito is best as a heel.
Yes.
So...
Dude, his move was the backstabber. Like, literally.
Yeah. What if? And... he's legit Puerto Rican, right? And LWO is all about the Latino, so he would make a great faction leader. I would say even better than Rey Mysterio.
So he ousts Rey Mysterio. He literally backstabs Rey Mysterio.
But then the one that deals the final blow is Santos.
Okay, because what? Like, Rey is like, Santos, save me. You've been my friend. And then Santos is like, Pui, no, or something like that.
Yeah, he spits at Rey Mysterio's face because he's not cool, bro.
Yeah, so it becomes Carlito, Santos, and the other two jabronis, and Zelina Vega.
Yeah, because if you think about it, right, which title does Rey Mysterio has on his waist?
US title.
And Carlito is famous for being a US champion.
Yeah, but what about Santos Escobar? Like, he wants the US title as well.
So that's why I say, like, I can see Carlito eventually transitioning as like maybe the manager to Santos.
Okay.
So he's more of like the Paul Heyman of the group. I mean, he doesn't want to be the main guy, right? So he's pulling the strings putting these seeds of doubt in Santos, saying that, you know what has Ray ever done for you? He was a mentor, but he took the title from you. You know what I mean? He whisper, and then pull the trigger. Then they can have a feud, right? They can have the Carlito versus Santos feud with, the Ray versus Santos feud with Carlito as like the instigator on the side.
Right. Or how about here's a different option. Sure. Carlito turns on Ray, and then Santos versus Carlito becomes the feud. It's like a more simple, like it's very obvious. Like I don't know why this just sounds more plausible to me. Where
so you're saying Santos still defends Ray's honor.
Yeah,
as much as the main bad guy.
Yeah, as much as I hate it, because I think that Santos has proven in NXT that he's a great heel. With Legado del Fantasma. Thank you.
You're right, Rishi. Legado, yes.
Also, Edison, what's up, man? Hey.
What up?
Love being here. Being here. Love you being here. Wow.
Yes.
Brain not working.
Twister, bro.
Yeah. Zelina Vega, though, here's the thing. Zelina Vega, for her and the rest of them to turn heel, she needs to turn heel also, and she's been like this smiley baby face for such a long time. It would kind of make no sense.
Yeah. But Legado del Fantasma, I think they as a faction are amazing. And actually, I really like their song in NXT. I don't know why they got rid of that. But maybe they're going to ride a bit longer with this babyface LWO team, because I think LWO, they need to corner that Latino market somehow, right?
Yeah.
Right?
So they sell more t-shirts for a couple of months with Carlito there, everyone happy, then slowly plant the seeds. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would think that this mini storyline can run all the way to WrestleMania, bro, if you do it right.
It could be the next Judgment. Like, you know how Bloodline then, while the Bloodline was hot, Judgment Day was just starting. It was the germ of an idea. And now that Judgment Day is the main story, LWO is the bubbling one. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, and you got one-time faction there with Street Profits also bubbling under as well.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? We put out a poll on our Instagram, and I was saying, like, which is the better faction right now between Bloodline and Judgment Day. An overwhelming majority of our fans, like 60%, saying that they prefer, Judgment Day right now. I think Judgment Day has overtaken Bloodline as like the main faction right now.
Well, because like so many people have broken off the Bloodline, and the story, like we mentioned, the story is sort of on a back burner. Roman Reigns has been away for 2 months. And this is credit to WWE that they've managed to create something in the absence of the thing that was hot for 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They managed to follow it up with something. I know you want to argue if it's just as hot, not as hot, whatever, but it's still entertaining, in the Judgment Day. And they have so many pots cooking right now. If one fails, something else can take its place, which is, once again, kudos to Papa H. Here, Rishi brings up something interesting. Ray gets beaten down by Santos, then Dominic comes and saves his deadbeat dad.
You wish, bro. No, Dirty Dom is dirty all the way. Hey, you know about Dirty Dom, right, bro? I don't think that was a planned thing, I don't think they expected him to get so over with his prison gimmick.
No.
So that's what I say. This is the best example of WWE knowing when to pull the trigger, seeing something organically become popular, and maximizing it. Capitalizing.
No, but them turning up the crowd volume, they need to relax a bit. It's a bit obvious. Every time the boos, all of a sudden, like, nobody can hear shit. It's nothing but boos. Like, really? Did they really get that loud?
Yeah. Bro, sidetrack. What do you think of Dominic winning back his North American title 3 days after, like, losing it? Like, poor Trick Williams, bro.
Okay. We all know that was never meant to happen. I think he was meant to keep it. So because Ali was supposed to be the challenger, right? And then Trick was never supposed to have been in that position to begin with, so he would have never won the title anyway. So they're like, okay, why not? Let's just, swerve it a bit, like, give you a bit of a, oh my God, and add some spice to the whole dynamic between Rhea Ripley. It's a case of they made the best of a situation that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. But I think the good fallout, I think the positive thing out of all this is that they made a bigger star out of Trick Williams than when they would have, if they didn't use him in this spot. So good for him.
Yeah. It's weird, right? Like, all of a sudden, I see Trick Williams in a completely different light. After this, like, for me, for the longest time, he was always, it's a Swerve's dude. It's Swerve's guy, right?
Yeah, not Swerve. Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes. Wrong hip-hop guy.
You are the wrong black guy.
Oh shit.
You mistake him. No. But you're right. Trick Williams never figured into the spotlight in any way.
Yeah.
But then now that you really see him in all his glory, like he reminds me of who? He reminds me of like Big Bill, but like a black version of Big Bill, right?
Big
Like,
Bill.
yeah, because I think like people always remember Enzo Amore, right?
Oh yeah.
But then now when Big Bill, has a chance to be on his own, associated with different people, you start to appreciate him a bit more. Like, oh, okay, you can see the size.
Like
you can see
a more talented Diesel lah.
Yeah, more athletic Diesel. Hey bro, anyone can be more athletic than Diesel, so it's not really a stretch.
Don't say like that, huh? Much love to Kevin Nash. Okay, so that's Carlito, LWO, good stuff. Let's move on.
Yep.
Is it weird that I think that this was the worst match of the card? Io Sky, Asuka, Charlotte Flair. Considering the caliber of wrestlers in this match, this was actually the most like I was bored. And I dare say that Io Sky is cold. And the crowd, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the crowd doesn't really like, they're kind of meh towards Io Sky.
Here's the thing, right? Like I watched Asuka versus Io Sky like a couple of weeks back, just one-on-one, straight up, no drama. Bro, brilliant match. Like one of the better, women's matches I've seen in a long time this year. Yeah. I felt having Charlotte there hampered them.
Yep.
Which is weird because I feel like Charlotte is cold.
Yeah.
She's literally there because she's Charlotte Flair. Okay, just got to insert one time Charlotte Flair, right?
Yeah.
Asuka is on the downturn from her hotter period early in the year.
Yes.
So even when she returned, there was really nothing much to care about. Io Sky, the real story is they should be focusing on this dissension between Bailey and Io Sky. That's the story there. But they keep sidestepping that story. Even though, yes, Charlotte did hint to Bailey. I think she said something like, you're just a lackey right here.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, Bailey should have pulled the trigger and like beat up Io or do something to create that new storyline, but they didn't pull the trigger. So yeah.
Is Io one of those people that's better in the chase? I felt the same way in her NXT run as well. Like when she was chasing Bianca for the title. Like she, I don't know, man. There's something about Io that doesn't click with me.
Because I feel Io,
outside
and I've
of
seen
wrestling,
her. I've seen her press con. She can speak relatively okay English, like she got the accent still, but she can come across as this like very irritable, easily annoyed woman. Like, I mean, like I don't know. It's just no, but the way she replies to Bailey, the way she talks is like she's always annoyed. Yeah, but I think they can use that to her advantage and become like this. Like, yeah, you are, like that kind of girl. Like that can be a thing, but she's miscast right now because she's a heel that kind of is a baby face that people respect. There's no clear. If you tell me what is Io's character, nobody can tell me. So that's the problem.
She just does weird poses, weird Japanese poses. I think that's the crux of Io Sky's problem right now. Is that I think people respect her for what she can do, but outside of that, like, who is she other than the genius of the sky? What does that even mean? Not everybody can do a moonsault. Like her whole thing is a moonsault, right? And Charlotte Flair can do a moonsault. Tiffany Stratton can do a moonsault. It's not,
Yeah. She's like Hikaru Shida, bro. Like Hikaru Shida is like one of those girls that you respect, but like I don't really care when she's a champion.
Bro, here's a hot take, bro. Here's a hot take. I think Hikaru Shida got more personality than Io Sky.
She got more fire.
More fire, right?
Yeah.
Like in ring, let's put that aside. I think Hikaru Shida actually, just visually, when you see her do her thing, you feel more fire from her. For whatever reason, Io Sky just feels bland. I mean, weird. I don't know. Weird, but not in a good way. Not like in an Asuka, like what the kind of way. Okay, how about this? Just have Io Sky versus Asuka. Just build a proper storyline there. Like,
and just have them cut Japanese anime promos at each other all the way.
Yeah. Do what they're doing for Shinsuke versus Seth Rollins, but with Asuka and Io Sky lah. Like, I don't know. But you're right. Like, I felt like Charlotte Flair was very extra here. Bailey is very extra. Dakota Kai also very extra. Like, they don't add anything to this.
Remember when Io first turned heel in NXT, started wearing all black?
Yeah.
And we were like saying like, oh damn, she's hot, man. I mean, not just hot because like she's hot, but like
she's interesting.
Just everything about her character, that Yakuza music, that Shinjuku. Like they should have leaned onto it and like kept all the best things about that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you're right. EO is a bit bland, and because of that, I didn't feel so invested in this match. I was almost expecting like someone to return. I thought Bianca was gonna, come and fuck it up, or Bailey was like I said, Bailey was gonna turn heel. That would have created something noteworthy coming out of the match. But unfortunately, it is what it is.
Like that title, that whole group of whatever nonsense is going on is cold. It's very, very cold. Whereas on the other side, with Rhea as the champ, with Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, even Shayna Baszler, at least there's some fire there. There's like, something interesting, like, Nia Jax is coming in to wreck everybody.
Yeah. Very interestingly on Raw, so I might as well update you that
Sure.
apparently Nia Jax had a match with Raquel Rodriguez, which is supposed to be like a horse match.
Yeah.
But again, WWE did one of their favorite tropes. They caused the disqualification because they had Shayna Baszler come out. They had, I do not know who else, Rhea Ripley come out and like screwed up with the match. So apparently, it seems like for the Raw side, we are gonna get a Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley feud incoming.
Oh.
So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. But it seems like a side quest lah. We all know Shayna Baszler, and the way she's been booked, she's not about to, topple any dynasties here. It's still going to be Rhea Ripley, and I have to imagine that the end goal now is Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax at some point, and then Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill.
Who should be EO's next challenger then? Who could take out that mantle?
Bailey lor. I don't know. I feel like I'm so disinterested in Io Sky, and it's crazy for me to say that. I don't care who her next, because she's not a compelling champion right now. I don't know who.
Bailey's gotta save the day. I mean, we know Bailey can work. She can cut a great promo. I think she can tell the story of her being jealous of Io and betray Io and get her back on that number one spot.
And you know what? I think Bailey needs to take the title from Io. Yeah. Io needs to go back to being chasing babyface as opposed to champion.
I see. Yeah, I don't disagree for sure. Dakota Kai just there to make TikToks with Katy Kelly.
Okay, let's move on then. John Cena and LA Knight. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Versus the bloodline of Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. Okay, thoughts?
Okay, so the thing is, first of all, Jimmy Uso, I'm starting to enjoy his character work. His music is annoying, but in a way that is okay for a heel. Yeah. This whole delusion that he's like the guy running the shot,
it's fun, right? It's like it's fun. It's like, okay, if you watch any mafia movie, there's always this one fella who thinks he damn big shot when the big boss is not around. But when the big boss comes, it's like, oh shit. Yeah.
And then the funny thing is, technically he betrayed Roman. Okay, if everyone's keeping score, he betrayed Roman to save his brother. He defected from the bloodline, and then at SummerSlam he go screw up his brother, and now he's trying to come back. So Jimmy has the weirdest character arc. You know what I mean? Yeah. But somehow I think that everyone's accepted that he is legitimately trying to get back into the bloodline.
No,
but
and then
all depends on the Marines.
And we have to give credit to what makes this whole thing work. Paul Heyman. It's sort of in the back going, what the like the panic wise man, they have this mafia gimmick shit down pat right now with Paul Heyman in there as well. All the pieces are perfect, and Solo is just the silent enforcer guy. He's perfect there as well.
Yes. But the thing about the bloodline is, I think a lot of people have been saying that they need to introduce a new, fresh story or dynamic within the bloodline. I mean, of course, Jay being separated, I think creates at least some space there for him to be his own guy. I think now they are at that process where they're trying to build up both Usos as solo stars.
Yes.
Separate, distinct from each other. So I think in a way, Jimmy being this delusional, I'm the boss now, is interesting for his character. It's some sort of development for his character, right?
It is.
Yeah. But the problem with it is, I don't see him on the same star level as Jay, unfortunately.
Right. Well, I mean, but that's the whole point. I think Jay was always supposed to be the breakout star, right? And now Jimmy is sort of... Yeah, Jimmy will always play second fiddle to Roman Reigns as long as Roman Reigns is there. We all know Roman Reigns is the tribal chief.
Yeah, so I think what I'm interested to see is like, when Roman comes back, where does Jimmy stand in this whole relationship, right?
I see. Here's the thing. Like, I think the Bloodline story is kind of over, and the nail in the coffin will be WrestleMania. Either Roman Reigns versus Cody or Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Right? The Bloodline story is on its downward trend already. Because looking forward to Survivor Series, what I'm predicting, the 5v5 or the double cage match, War Games, will be Judgment Day and Bloodline. What is
combined
versus the good guys, as opposed to just Bloodline or just Judgment Day. I think that is where they're going with this.
I think so, because they're only down to 2 people. If Roman Reigns is not involved in that match, and then they probably have a Dominic and a Finn or whoever it is to build up the 5. So you're right. My issue is, right, okay, so let's talk about having this dynamic of a match, right? Having LA Knight there, having John Cena there.
Bro, hold on. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I just had a thought, bro.
Yes.
Imagine War Games 5v5. So you got Judgment Day and Solo and Jimmy. The other side, you got Cody, Jay, Sammy, Kevin Owens, whoever else. All the good guys versus the bad guys, right? And then you have Roman Reigns, the Shao Kahn style, bro. Remember we talked about this? He's sitting there on a throne.
Oh dear God, yeah.
By the, opposite the hard cam, watching this thing, like sitting there, like if y'all don't win, I will I don't know why that image just popped in my mind. He can be the Shao Kahn. He sit there with the one title there, and then Paul Heyman sniveling right next to him, bro. WWE, make it happen, man. I want to see that shit.
Survivor Series is Mortal Kombat edition, That's what
yes, let's go. We missed it with the freaking tribal combat match that was supposed to have happened. This should be it.
Well, the thing is, I see Roman Reigns as the end boss, right, of WWE. Yeah. He needs to be the guy that everyone works towards, right? And it makes sense at this stage. He doesn't need to wrestle. Let everyone else fight it out for the right to wrestle him.
Yep.
My question is, what is the end game for right now? Because now LA Knight is finally coming up into the precipice, right? Mm-hmm. You got clearly the whole point of this match was for everyone to give the rub to LA Knight, for John Cena to kind of bring him up to the next level.
Yep.
Are we gonna see Roman Reigns come back and then start a feud with LA Knight going to Crown Jewel? That's my question.
And then you have LA Knight versus Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, which is a very likely possibility, but LA Knight's not going to win, right?
As a side quest, right?
Yeah.
As like testing the waters for a main event run.
And he's not going to win due to interference, shenanigans that leads to Survivor Series.
Oh, sorry. Survivor Series, War Games.
War Games. Or whatever they have planned. I absolutely see that. And then where LA Knight goes from there, that will be the big question. Does he go for the World Heavyweight Championship? Whoever has that.
Yeah. I think because from what I've been seeing, the seeds, right? LA Knight has been getting into issues with Paul Heyman, right? LA Knight has kind of saved John Cena from a bloodline beatdown.
Yeah.
And John Cena, I don't think is going to be the main star of this whole storyline, because once the writer's strike is over, it's only a matter of time before the actor's strike is over. He's going to go back to his projects, right?
Correct.
The one that is going to be staying to fight the fight is going to be LA Knight. So it just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Cena is not going to challenge Roman. They've done that already. There's no point in doing that again, right? So
we've seen that. Yeah.
But what is crazy is right now, and this going back to us talking about wow, this is a great time to be a fan of wrestling, especially the WWE. There are so many main event contenders. You can see them planting the seeds for so many people, which is great. We just a few years ago, there was nobody. There was Drew.
Yeah,
and crickets and Roman, and that's it, right? It was kind of flat, but now it's okay, there are a lot of possibilities here. So,
bro, speaking of Drew, and we'll talk about Drew in a bit. He's going to go back on a main event scene if you saw Raw. So
he cost Damian Priest, right? There was some sort of altercation. Priest had Seth down, and then Dom tries to run out with the briefcase, but Drew stopped him. He finally took action.
Yes. So I believe, and I think we can talk about this when we're talking about the Shinsuke and Seth Rollins match. But we looks like we have our next contender for the world title. So there you go.
Let's move to that action, because there isn't too much to talk about in this match. It's not going to be an amazing display. This is star power sort of a match.
Yeah, LA Knight looks great with John Cena, I feel. I feel like, sometimes John Cena has always been the jack guy, but, recently in wrestling, that most wrestlers are like smaller size than John Cena, but he is matching up to John Cena in the physics section. So
LA Knight is such a throwback to that era, of The Rock, Stone Cold. We all know those were his favorite wrestlers back in the day. So this was just, like you said, to put LA Knight over. That's all this match was, and they did a good job of it. They made him look like a main event star.
Sure.
Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm glad this feud is over and done with, because for whatever reason, I don't know why. I'm very bored with these two, unfortunately.
They should have pulled the trigger on Shinsuke, but I know actually the whole point wasn't to push Shinsuke. It was really to solidify Seth's title run.
It was a side quest, and they gave him the whole back injury thing to up the stakes.
Yeah, but I think Shinsuke showed in this matchup that he can be treated like a main event star, given the right presentation, given Triple H's presentation of him.
Yes.
So that's great. And if you watch Raw again, clearly they've moved on. He's now like battling Ricochet, stuff like that. So he's really gone down the cart, back to his normal days. Being the mid carder, poor guy. But did you like Seth and Shinsuke as rivals? Generally, this storyline.
I thought, for whatever reason, it was cute, the whole anime style thing, but it feels like a match that has been done way too many times.
We've seen it in Singapore, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Cena Orton, right? It's like, how many times these two want to fight already? So it doesn't feel fresh. Yeah, they did Last Man Standing. It was a fine match, But interestingly, didn't Shinsuke do the red mist?
Yes. So that was one of the big talking points, I think, when we were watching the show live in the morning, right, with all our Discord fans. I think all the listeners were talking about this one we learned in Japanese dojo.
But you know why, right?
Yeah.
It's to give the illusion of blood. They got
it
around.
It does look like it was blood, right? Yeah.
So that's the whole point. Nobody bled, but it looks like this match was so hardcore that somebody bled. So you see in pictures, his face all red. Actually, it's not from bleeding. So I'm like, is this their way of making the match more violent without actually anybody getting color?
It was a cool visual for sure. I
think 100% this was a visually done match. And it's sort of like, I guess, kudos to them, right? They obviously have a proper protocol where you're not allowed to blade, unlike some people. Unlike some companies who okay, boss, can I blade? Okay, can. But obviously, this was their way to work around it. I was like, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah. I think I like how the match was laid out. They did great stuff in the ring, and then they worked their way around the environment. They used it well. Even like the spot, like you said, the ladder spot when he did the miss. I think it was surprising, right? I was like, oh wow, okay, another Japanese guy with a miss. Wow, but but in the moment it was a surprise, because Shinsuke has never done that before, right? And I believe that's his tribute to Keiji Muto. So it's cool. One thing that I also realized about this match was, right, remember Shinsuke had that retirement match with Keiji Muto at the start of the year?
Yeah.
Where Triple H allowed him to go to, Japan. And, it was kind of like a handshake deal, right?
Yeah.
I think that match was actually the one where planted the seeds where you know what? Shinsuke in the right environment can become a big deal again. Yeah, so I think this was almost like a reward for that run that he had, so that Triple H gave him the chance to go back to the main event scene. My question is, if he was never in doubt that Seth is gonna win this, what was the whole point of putting Shinsuke in this slot in the first place?
Side quest lah. Give
thank
Seth,
you?
Yeah. Well, that it also gives something for Seth to do. A main event, for crying out loud. Give them a main event. That's why I feel like at the end of the day, this was a B level pay-per-view or PLE, because the main event didn't really draw me. And you see, here's the thing. For good or for worse, they don't need to sell pay-per-views anymore, because it's all on the WWE network. They just need to consistently deliver you solid entertainment so that you will just watch out of habit. Oh, it's the PLE this week. Oh, we're going to watch. And continually subscribe. The game is different, versus selling a pay-per-view where all the time you need marquee matches, you need dream matches, blah, blah, blah. That sort of a deal.
Yeah, you're right. And I think a lot of people also didn't realize, they missed that one segment right before the main event where actually I believe Priest was really angry and he wanted to cash it in, and then Rhea was like, "No, don't do it because of his knee." Remember?
Yeah, he was injured. Yeah.
I thought that was gonna factor into the main event where like he's gonna ignore Rhea and he's gonna come and still do the cash in, but they didn't pull the trigger on that. Essentially, what they did was Priest listened to her, but didn't listen to her on Raw. I felt that was like a missed opportunity. They should have created the intrigue at the end of the match. Then people would have been coming away from the show thinking like, oh wow, Priest is gonna cash it in, you know, or at least attempt to. That would have created something fun to talk about post show.
I think you're talking about post Fastlane, right? Yeah, I think they did it to write Priest out of the picture. Honestly, because like it made sense, right? This is a last man standing match. It's supposed to be super brutal, but we are not ready to give Priest the title yet. So let's write him off. This was their way of writing him off.
Yeah, so I think Priest will factor into the title picture more going forward to end of the year. Probably interfere with Crown Jewel, where where Drew McIntyre challenges Seth Rollins. That's gonna be interesting because Drew is coming in with probably a new attitude. He might just turn heel during the show. So the main event scene, it might not be on the level of Roman Reigns, right?
Sure.
But at least there's some things happening at the top of the card here on Raw.
Yeah. Like you have one champion who's never there, who's supposed to be the big attraction, and if you want one champion who will always be there, so at least you always have a main event title match. So they're in a great position lah. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't forget Gunther as well, bro. I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Gunther had a great series of matches with Chad Gable. I'm pretty sad that didn't pan out to anything for Chad.
Yeah.
But again, on Raw, they announced a new title contender, Bronson Reed.
Tsunami.
Yes.
I mean, Bronson Reed has been used here and there, but it's weird, right? Like he feels like like you look at him. He's obviously he obviously gives you Vader vibes, like he's a monster. But then he's sort of been used, sort of like, oh, by the way, he's a monster and he's here. That's it. But maybe now this is the push, like now it's his time.
We shall see. But again, you got really two strong champions on Raw, right? You got Gunther, you got Seth Rollins. So Raw is in a good place. Kind of can manage on its own. It's not reliant on Bloodline or Roman Reigns to keep it going. So good for them.
It's funny, right? You mentioned Raw has all the working champions. SmackDown has all the...
Or like don't come to work like that.
I mean, you got Ray who works, but like, he's a bit getting up there in age. You got Roman Reigns. You got Io Sky who's kind of flat right now.
Poor guy. Yeah, I agree with you, Rishi. Like, I was waiting for a damn cash in. Like, that would have been the thing that would have made the pay-per-view memorable. But instead, we got a serviceable, pay-per-view.
But like I said, when that match ended, I was like, oh, that was the last match already. Finish already. Like, it felt like, oh, okay lah. But that being said, it was fun, easy to watch. Nothing horrible happened. Nothing crazy, whatever. Okay lah, like that lah. You move on, right? To I guess maybe it's like, okay, now you expect something big to happen at Crown Jewel, something big to happen at Survivor Series.
Yeah, it keeps you going, right? I mean, that's all you want from a wrestling fan. I think wrestling fans, we are always gonna watch wrestling no matter what. Yeah. But it's the thing that makes you want to like, oh, I need to check out SmackDown, what happens next. So like, Roman Reigns coming. That's the selling point, right?
It's the whole idea of setting a standard and always sort of delivering on that standard. So I know that if I watch this show, because it's habit building, right? At the end of the day, much of entertainment, is like every episode needs to have a standard so that, I know what to expect. This is the problem with AEW. It's like some weeks is good stuff, but a lot of bad stuff. It becomes so inconsistent that they are just relying on certain, like, what was that time they had the... I forgot. The blood and guts match, or they rely on gimmicks and dream matches to pop a rating, as opposed to training you to habitually watch week in and week out because you enjoy the product, you resonate with the product. There's a storyline to follow.
Well, yeah, and you brought up a point that I think which perfectly segues into last week, because last week was their 4th anniversary of Dynamite, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I watched Dynamite. I think for the first time in a long time because of what I wanted to see with Edge, Adam Copeland. Sorry. But the thing is, right, as I was watching through the shows, I was watching through the other things, I realized that they don't have anything that would want you to sit through like to watch the other segments. Like you're watching just for that segment itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And here's the thing: the second that segment happened, it's going to be all over social media. I watch social media. Okay, I literally have no reason and no push to go and watch back the rest of the show. I saw the segment I wanted. I'm done.
Yeah. And the thing is, those are the views that you gave that could have contributed to their views on the TV show, but they didn't because literally everything you need to watch, you can watch on the social media. It's like watching match highlights, Yeah. Instead of sitting a 90-minute match, the fans would watch it, but people who are like, okay, I just want to watch the thing. But the problem is you're not building the fan base in a way to be invested in those matches, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? Let's talk about the Adam Copeland one before we do our preview for this week.
So obviously, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, they are setting up for a brother, quote unquote, best friend versus best friend feud, right? Go F yourself, like that.
That was amazing. That was just hilarious.
Well, they could only get away with it on AEW, so good for them.
Yeah. Another thing is like, what's your thoughts on Adam Copeland setting up the stage where he asked them to team up again, like one last run, Edge and Christian.
Sure.
He said we can beat the Young Bucks. We can prove that we're better than FTR.
I mean, that's obviously the setup for their feud, right? And here's the thing though, like, okay, I get it. He comes back. He's the big name. He needs to be in a recognizable feud. And right now, Christian Cage is the TNT champion, correct? Makes perfect sense. Moving forward, he really doesn't need to be going in there to fight Sting. He doesn't need to fight Chris Jericho. Oh my God, please do not touch Chris Jericho. Yeah. Kenny Omega, yes, that would be an interesting, never seen before thing. But if anything, I hope he really just works with Darby Allin, with Ricky Starks, with the guys that need the rub. Chris Jericho doesn't need the rub, and we've seen it. Definitely don't work with the Hardys. Because they don't need a rub. They're on the downhill. We've seen it a million times, and when they were better, right? And like, I don't know, like he needs to go in there and work with the guys who need the rub or deserve a rub, and he can elevate.
The thing is, I wrote something along the lines of like, watch AEW for Adam Copeland, but stay for Christian Cage, right? Because really, Christian Cage, right, I think has taken over MJF as that number one heel in the company.
Yes.
Everything he's done is so dialed in right now. I love the running joke that he targets people who have fathers who died already. It's like hilarious. I see all the comments on Adam Copeland. It's like, oh, no wonder he's feuding with Adam Copeland. He never met his dad before. Okay, makes sense.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You see, here's the problem I have with AEW now, right? You have the top heel in Christian Cage. You have the top face in MJF. And they're nowhere even close to ever colliding. Like, I don't see that happening anytime soon, which is a sad thing because what makes an amazing must-see main event? Top heel versus top babyface, no?
Exactly, that's one thing. And also, what makes a great roster is that you got 5, 6, 7 over guys at the same time, all fighting for that spot. Right now, you can count on less than one hand. Who would you watch AEW for right now, right? But you know what? I would say something. Somebody is coming to the attention of my attention that I think you know what? I can see him becoming a champion one day. Can you guess who?
Swerve.
Yes.
I think that there's no doubt that's why I got him mixed up with Trick, right? It's like these two very
What are you gonna say?
Other than the obvious, they were in factions, they were in groups, they sort of part of a group for a while, but now that they've stepped out on their own, you realize, hey, actually they have a lot of charisma, they are good in the ring, right? Sure, Swerve is a little bit fancy in the ring, but you put him in there with veterans that can work a little bit more dial back style. I think he has places that he can go. The ceiling on him is very high.
He got the X Factor as well, bro.
Yes.
Bro, he got not just that. He got Prince Nana.
Prince Nana!
Bro, he's dancing, bro. He's like very long level of cringe but hilarious. I can't stop watching it.
Right.
So you know what? And if you really look and focus on his Mogul Embassy, they actually got solid wrestlers there. You got Brian Cage, muscle guy. You got the Leona.
You just said solid wrestlers, and then you bring up as the first example Brian Cage. I'm like, bro, your credibility went down the toilet.
Bro, I meant solid physically, bro. I was just talking.
Visually, right? Visually, he
solid.
looks...
Okay. I was just about to say the workers in the group is the two tag team guys, bro. The Toa, Leona,
Okay.
Kaun, I don't know what's their name.
No, but the problem is those guys you only see on ROH.
Yes, correct. They are more of a ROH faction. But I forgot. I think there's one more guy. I forgot who on the left side.
And
that he was saying,
And that's another issue, right? They keep bringing in these guys who we know got talent. We've seen them do good stuff in Japan and Indies, whatever, but they are in ROH. So once in a while they show up and they have no like for example, like people like what's that? Aussie Open. For all intents and purposes, people keep telling me they are great. Literally, I don't know anything about them. AEW has not presented them to me in a way where they're actually a really good tag team. You know?
And I feel like it's really an issue with AEW because when Bullet Club Gold got the chance to perform, well, now you can literally see Jay White, Juice Robinson like really create the impact, right?
Let's talk about Jay White and MJF very quickly. I mean, obviously we don't wish ill upon anybody, but Adam Cole being taken out of the picture, I think is best for MJF. I hate saying that.
Oh, you don't really like their friendship thingy situation going on?
It's cute, it's funny, but if it would have worked if MJF was the TNT champion and not the world champion. And the world champion needs to be there drawing money, I
see.
And now that he sort of moved on from it, he shouldn't be the ROH tag team champion. That's another story altogether. But him versus Jay White, it's like Jay White.
Is that something that catches your attention in any way then?
Not really, because I will say this, right? And it might be a hot take, but I think Jay White is not the best out of that group. Whenever they give him the mic, he just goes on and rambles to a point where he's like, wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's that great on the mic. He might have been great on the mic in Japan because people there don't understand what the hell he's saying. He has a fire. But like, the last few times I've seen him in the ring cutting promos have been like, okay, bro. Like, he just goes on. Whereas Juice Robinson, we've talked about this before, right? You can't help but go, what the hell is this guy on? Like he elicits
Yeah, I get what you mean. And you compare someone like him to Ospreay, Will Ospreay. When Will Ospreay cut that promo with Chris Jericho, I was invested. Because there's like a hint of like, I got something to prove. But with Jay White, because I don't know, maybe because he's just cocky, he doesn't come across as like in peril in any way.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can take him seriously. Like, compare that with a Swerve Strickland, right? Everything he says got menace. Got like, okay, this guy wants to get to hurt people in some ways.
It's like you said, like it's the X factor, right? Like some people when they're on the mic, you stand up and listen. Whereas with Jay White, he just rambles, and MJF is gonna absolutely destroy him.
Which MJF did. MJF called him tofu, right? It's true. There's so he is literally what he wanted to be Kenny Omega, but I think Kenny Omega was still the biggest star.
Yeah.
Couldn't really live up to him as the gaijin in New Japan. But again,
which is my point. The whole issue right now with AEW, you have your main champion of doing comedy crap. You have the best heel with a quote unquote second tier title about to work with his best friend. So it's like,
well, I am of the belief that somewhere along the lines, there's a Samoa Joe there waiting in the wings. He did kind of promo saying that he's gonna come back. So I would rather see Samoa Joe having a rematch with MJF. Than this. And also, bro, I do not know what's gonna happen with Adam Copeland after this. Is he gonna go to the main event title picture? Is he gonna stay and work with the juniors? We shall see, right?
We shall see. I mean, this Christian Cage Adam Copeland feud has legs, so it will go on for a while, right?
Yeah. So okay, right now, previewing this head-to-head that's coming up this week.
Happy birthday, Tony Khan.
Okay, so you want to talk about AEW first? I'm assuming you want to get the card out of the way.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's the thing, because we live in Singapore, because where we live, we will watch both after the fact. I will watch NXT first because once again, this is a habit building business. I have been trained by the WWE to know that there will always be a certain standard in their product They will give me surprises. And plus, gong, all the big stars are coming. Why the hell would I watch the other show, which I know has disappointed me again and again and again, right? So I will always prioritize NXT first.
All right.
That is just, me.
Not intrigued by Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus, bro?
What do you think? What do you think? Look, yeah. Okay, even if there was no NXT going up against Dynamite, right? I also wouldn't watch it live. Like, Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus is absolutely unappealing to me. We've seen Adam Copeland edge recently in WWE. It hasn't been years. We've seen him recently.
The better version of this match has already existed 20 years ago. Edge versus Kane, bro. 20 years ago.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right? So, okay, let's jump into Tony Khan's birthday offering, shall we? So this is their big Title Tuesday. Rated R superstar Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus. I guess that's the main event. The hook here, I guess, is Christian Cage, right? Yeah. It's not so much Luchasaurus. Nobody gives a crap about him.
What is Christian Cage going to do in this scenario? How is he going to factor into the play? Yeah,
how is he going to stab Edge in the back? All that kind of stuff. Also, Edge is so much easier to say than Adam Copeland.
Yeah, but Adam Copeland is easier to chant than Edge.
Adam Copeland, clap, 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 clap.
Yeah, so yeah.
Right,
but they have a lot of Adams in the AEW. They need to watch themselves.
They really... Adam Page, Adam Copeland, Ethan
Cole.
Page, all the Pages, Adam Cole. Wow, they have too many names.
Yeah, they've got
overlap. Okay, so very quickly, let's see. I'm looking at the card right now. Chris Jericho versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Okay. So
Why?
so this was the scenario that was built last week. Where Chris Jericho got ambushed by Powerhouse Hobbs because Hobbs is part of the new faction. So yeah, there's a story there.
So it is relatively new feud. Okay, sure, it works. I mean...
It works if Chris Jericho puts over Powerhouse Hobbs.
I'm not clamoring to watch this match. Are you?
I am for Powerhouse Hobbs. I would say.
Sure.
I'm a fan of it.
Right. Jay White and Hangman Page. All right, I'm sure the elite fans will want to watch this.
Oh yeah, it's a Bullet Club reunion in a way. But the real story is gonna be Swerve Strickland's either gonna come and get involved, or we will see MJF gets involved. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland.
We just mentioned it. Okay, so this is interesting because I do not know how this was set up.
Yeah.
But Swerve Strickland is probably on Bryan's retirement list. I'm pretty sure. People he want to put over or wrestle.
By the way, let me throw in one more thing. The winner of this match gets a title shot at the TNT Championship, which means the winner of this match faces Christian. Bryan Danielson has a history with Adam Copeland.
Yes.
As well, if you think about it.
But do you want to see Bryan Danielson versus Christian Cage?
Actually, have they wrestled before?
They have been in the same company at the same time, but both of them were baby faces at that point in time during WWE's 2010 run.
I mean, it could be a dream match, and I would pay to see two major stars go at it. Like, as much as, we all agree Swerve Strickland needs a rub, needs to be up there, right? But Bryan Danielson versus Christian Cage with Edge playing a role in the finish, I think makes sense.
Okay, I don't deny that. I don't mind Bryan Danielson becoming a TNT champion. At least he wins some sort of title in AEW.
He doesn't have to win. He can go and just face Christian Cage.
Yeah. But again, I do not know what's the plan for Bryan Danielson because he's on his retirement tour, right? So is he just gonna face Edge or Christian Cage just for the vibes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to get that bucket list out of the way.
Sure. I mean, look, to me, like I said, that to me is a dream match because I feel like they are two big names and I don't think they've ever really truly faced each other. Also, if Bryan Danielson takes the TNT title away, thanks to Edge's or Adam's interference, right? Then you have a situation where Bryan Danielson can go and give somebody a rub with the TNT title while Christian and Adam do their blood feud because they don't need the title for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way of looking at it. So, but Bryan and Swerve, is that something you look forward to in a match?
Yes, actually, I would. Okay. I would say maybe Hangman Page costs Swerve here because they are already engaged in a feud, right? So that's how they deepen their feud.
So maybe each one costs each other's match and then they happen right after the other.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, it depends on how they structure this, lah. But yeah, they can, dish-out each other, lah,
Yeah. Let's go. Let's do that.
Yeah. Hikaru Shida versus Saraya.
This is
for the
AEW
women's
title.
Yeah, because Title Tuesday gotta put. Yeah, I don't care.
You know what will make me want to watch this match?
Toni Storm.
Timeless Toni. She does this thing now.
Yeah.
I don't know what she does, but she does that. I hope she interferes. I hope she, betrays Saraya, and then they get into a feud. Let them fight at Full Gear. Let Toni Storm win back the title. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I don't know. Maybe Hikaru Shida takes the title away from Saraya, who has been horrendously underwhelming, right? And then at least Shida and Toni can have a full-blown match. Whereas with Saraya, you know that you got to handle her properly. You got injuries.
She and Edge got the same problem, remember?
The who?
She, Adam Copeland, Brian Danielson all got the same neck problem, but all in AEW.
Yeah, what? Hey, a part of me hopes that they only work with each other. Because they are don't go and that's why freaking Edge's first match is with Luchasaurus. I'm very okay, so that's the other thing, right? And I don't want to be that guy, but Edge does not need to work with Rey Fenix, Young Bucks, Luchasaurus, all these indie-minded guys because he has a bad neck. And the last thing we need is them trying some crazy shit because he wants to feel like part of the boys and hurting himself. Really?
Remember Luchasaurus choke slam Rey Fenix out of the ring and then he broke his arm? Remember that scene?
Yeah. I mean, all of it, at the end of the day, this is not ballet, this is pro wrestling, freak accidents can happen. I mean, freaking Adam Cole broke his ankle running to the ring, of all things, right?
That's crazy,
When Jon Moxley getting dropped on his head, he's like, I'm fine. Wow, as fine as he can ever be. But you know what I mean? It's like, wow, I really hope that he doesn't overextend himself and injure himself.
No, he'll be too smart for that. I feel like...
No, he's smart. I'm talking about the rest of these indie dudes.
No, as in he's smart to know who to work with. You
know
what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he will be like, I'm just going to do a Young Bucks match for the vibes. I don't think he will do that.
His first match is with the friggin' dinosaur.
And he better ring general the shit out of that match, lah.
It's you know what it is like. It's like you can be as safe as you want on the roads, but some asshole driving too fast, drinking, whatever, right? You can't control somebody else.
Okay. To be fair, Luchasaurus does not have a Nia Jax reputation, right? I mean, he can be strong. He's given him tried to give him a choke slam so far.
Yeah.
But I feel like having worked with people like Kane, having worked with bigger guys, Edge will know how to handle himself. Let's just hope. He can ring general the shit out of the match.
Yeah. Okay. Let's think positive. Nothing bad will happen. Nothing bad will happen. Okay. Is this going to be the main event though? Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus?
Is there any other? Is there any matches?
One more match.
Okay.
Jon Moxley versus Rey Fenix again for the International Championship.
Bro, you know what this means, right?
What? Jon Moxley wins it back?
Rey was never supposed to win the title. It was a fluke.
No, we all knew that. Why? He just was like, okay, he just pinned me because I effed up my neck or whatever my head.
So this is Mox putting things back on track, I guess, in a way.
But we want to watch this match again.
Well, would you rather have this match or Orange Cassidy appearing?
I rather none of them.
Winning the title, he never felt he deserved to lose.
It's weird, right? If Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus is the main event of Title Tuesday when there's no title on the line.
Yes, but it's like Clash of the Champions, right? Or like what are the belts? Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just say for the vibes, they just say for the name, but they're not gonna really have a championship on the line. They don't care.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That's your card for Title Tuesday. Are you hyped? Like there's some matches like it's gonna be good matches, right? Yeah. But are you hyped for it on a scale of 1 to 10? Title Tuesday, everybody.
I would say like I'm a good 7. Like I would watch it. Yeah. I mean I'm interested to see Adam Copeland in this environment. Like again, the fear of him getting injured, right? There's a hook to watch the match.
That's not a good hook to watch the match. No, so okay, it's either Luchasaurus like shows his greenness, or everything like he goes super light, so everything just whiffs. Because we've seen him whiff a lot in dark matches. Like, where his spin kick, like, freaking doesn't even come anywhere close, right?
If this match is good, then you know that, okay, with the right partner, he can do a match. So that's the whole point.
Yeah.
His job is to come there and help these people become better. So
yeah. Okay.
You can't work with people who are already great. You have to work with the crappy ones. I don't know.
Dave asked, do you think that Beth will jump over to do commentary for AEW? I mean,
if they want a decent female commentator, I mean, she's the best option, right?
She really is. I mean, it's really wasted that, NXT wasn't, I don't know I don't know what happened there where, they didn't need her on NXT. No, I mean, Vic Joseph and Booker T, shucky ducky quack quack. They're fun. Hey, Booker T, right? Okay, what do you think of Booker T's commentary? Like, I don't know why when he was on Raw, I found it a bit irritating. But on NXT with Vic Joseph, I'm like, okay, quite endearing, like this crazy guy with just random out of the blue comments.
Bro, he's like Jerry Lawler, bro. Jerry Lawler, for a period of time, he was like, he can say any stupid thing, right? Like puppies, right? He was so over.
Yeah.
But then there was a period of time he got just annoying. Obnoxious.
Yeah.
So I think in the small doses of NXT, which is like, in a smaller environment, I think people can appreciate it. But not when he's calling a world title match, lah. You know what I mean?
Shucky ducky quack quack.
Yeah. I think he said that when Jake Cargill came out of the car at Fastlane as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so any last thoughts on Title Tuesday before we jump to NXT?
Yeah, I mean, I will still watch it. I think the whole point of Adam Copeland being there is to create more eyeballs for the product. I do not know whether can he do a better job than CM Punk in navigating that environment and causing positive change. I think I have more faith in him because he seems like not the kind of guy that just creates drama for no reason. But there's also the fear that he might end up becoming a Bryan Danielson or Chris Jericho where he just enables everyone.
Yeah, he's just there to work with his friends and I know what you mean. Okay, let's move on to NXT. Will the draw of Edge overshadow the appearance of the big names? There we go. So, and at first I thought people were joking, right, about the whole Undertaker thing. Then I actually went and watched NXT. And then I heard the gong. I was like, wow, okay. Y'all might be overdoing it a bit. The tease. So far, they haven't teased, that was the extent of the tease, right? At the end of the promo.
You're looking at the commercial?
The commercial. Right? At the end of the promo package, dong. So the tease being Undertaker, they haven't announced that he's actually showing, right?
Yeah, they haven't announced officially,
Okay, so just that alone, wow. I guess you have to give it to him. They're not going to make it obvious. They'll make you stay and wait the entire way through. Now, who the hell would Undertaker be there to feud, to talk about? Why is he there? Why?
Bro, I got a guy.
Go ahead.
He's the guy that ripped off his entrance from last week from NXT No Mercy.
Wait. You telling me that he's just showing up there to beat up Baron Corbin?
I don't know.
Do you think really the whole biker thing? It's like you stole my friggin' motorbike. Actually, the backstory is
hilarious, though. That'd be hilarious.
The backstory is Baron Corbin stole his motorbike. Can you imagine that is the backstory?
Oh dear God,
No, this is like supernatural Undertaker because of the gong, right?
Oh, I mean, I do not know. I mean, he did that for his American Badass entrance as well, what?
Oh yeah, gong, and then what if? Can you imagine? They just put a gong for sound effect. Actually, you're overthink bro. You all read too much into it. You all wrestling fans. Actually, he's not showing up. Can you imagine if that was the biggest bait and switch ever? We just put gong for sound effect only. Why you all think so much? It's nothing to do with Undertaker, bro.
I have a feeling Taker will actually come down to Florida and maybe spend some days in a performance center. He's not just gonna come there for the NXT appearance. He's probably gonna visit a performance center, do some training or seminar. He can't be an idiot and just go there just for the vibes, right?
No. Triple H, I need a favor. My Shawn Michael, my best friend, he need to beat this Tony Khan on his birthday. You come here, bro, please. We need your help. You
know what this really is?
What?
Shawn Michaels Undertaker 3 at NXT.
Can you imagine?
No, but it'd be cool if Shawn and Taker go face to face just for like backstage segment or something. That'd be really, really cool.
Maybe. Okay, let's look at the actual card. You got the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, right?
Okay.
Which is like, okay, it's a great way to sort of to introduce the newer talent, but it's not going to draw eyeballs. Like half these, like not even half. 100% of them, I have no idea who any of them are.
Anyone that actually is a name in NXT?
No, not really. Some of them are the members of that the Metaphor group, and they're all very new.
How about Eva Rain? How about the Rock's daughter? Is she part of
She's
it?
not. She's not in this tournament, breakout tournament.
Okay.
So I look at these brackets. I have no idea who any of them are. One of them is like some Russian chick, but she got a sword. I'm like, what the?
Wow. Okay, I'm clearly not keeping track.
Yeah, like I mean, I recently tried to get back into NXT, and it's been solid viewing, right?
Okay.
But yeah, really, this breakout tournament is just like the old breakout tournaments. A bunch of new people you might not know. This is their time to shine, lah. So it will be interesting that they actually have another match in this tournament going up against quote unquote AEW.
Okay.
They are hoping, obviously, that the big names will drive the eyeballs.
I don't really care, but at the end of the day, you know, the whole point of NXT is still to build stars for the future.
Yeah.
So they gotta you know, hit their mission statement lah before all the stars come into the show, right?
So interestingly enough, if you look at the match card itself, right, AEW actually has more matches listed.
Okay.
On the NXT side, you have NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. No big names, but when you talk about big names showing up, Becky Lynch will be there, NXT champion, right?
Okay.
Possibly to get more challenges, blah blah blah. Hey, I forgot who won the. There was a number one contenders match last week on NXT. I forgot already.
Well, the thing is, Becky defended the title against Tegan Nox on Raw today.
Yeah.
She retained. So
of course.
I'm not sure whether it's Tiffany Stratton that won or is it Roxanne Perez?
No, because Roxanne has another match.
Oh yeah, no. Roxanne is with Asuka, right?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, anyone on the chat can let us know if you watched NXT last week. Who's supposed to be the number one contender?
I forgot who the number one contender is. Yeah, shit. But anyway, Becky Lynch will be there. She'll probably do something with the number one contender, right? So yeah, Becky Lynch is a draw. Dominic Mysterio is there. Probably, you know, do some shenanigans with Trick Williams again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Trick is not gonna lie down there and getting jumped by the entire Judgment Day last week, right? Come on.
Correct. So maybe we'll have some sort of a tag team match, something happening lah. But you mentioned it, Asuka, even though she is kind of flat right now, but Asuka versus Roxanne Perez.
I mean, this is just a case of, you know, building up stars of NXT, giving her the rub. And I mean, a lot of people like Roxanne Perez. I think she's really likable.
Yeah.
But
okay,
again,
somebody update me, because like we mentioned before, I stopped watching NXT for a while. But you know, for the longest time, I thought Roxanne Perez was supposed to be that sweet girl next door sort of a vibe face. Why has she come back and like it seems like the crowd has soured on her a little bit?
Oh, I have no idea whether she's turning heel or not. I don't know what's going on there.
Has she shown some sort of like a heel vibe or like that's what I got.
Well, the only vibe I've been getting is Cora Jade lah. Suddenly becoming hot lah. I don't know what's going on there lah. Have you seen?
Hot. Yeah,
bro. Have you seen? She's been like welding on social media.
She's been off NXT TV for a while. She got some enhancements made done. You know, that's why her social media is what it is. She
did a Stephanie McMahon lah, basically.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's her choice. Whatever, man. I don't know when she'll be back, but there's that. So yeah, is Roxanne Perez turning heel? I don't know. I found that a little bit confusing. So you got Asuka versus Roxanne Perez. Cody Rhodes will deliver a major announcement.
Oh, well, I'm seeing our chat here talking about finishing the story and all that. What chapter is he gonna announce? Rishi announced Undertaker as the new GM of NXT. What?
Hey, relax. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels for the GM of NXT. Hey, there you go. You got Taker HBK back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do think that it has to do with Dusty lah. So Dusty Classic Law, Dusty Rhodes.
Correct.
But the point is, it's Cody Rhodes, an AEW guy, former AEW guy showing up at NXT. Obviously, he's there to take the eyeballs away, right?
Interestingly, right, I think he said in interviews previously that he doesn't really like or have never stepped foot in NXT or Performance Center because it just reminds him too much of Dusty. And he's always historically like hated Dusty's kids, right? In his documentary, so he said that. So it's actually going to be a very interesting moment for him to step foot in Florida, step foot in a Performance Center, being in that environment, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably sure he's going to mention Dusty. You know what is going to be the announcement? I mean, like you mentioned, alluded to, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be the Dusty Classic, lah.
Yeah, the tag team classic, right? That was the return of the
classic. Yeah.
Dusty, and he's a tag team champion now, so it makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Right. So there you go.
We called it. We call it right here. You when the thing goes down live tomorrow, you must let us know if it really was exactly how we predicted it.
Yes. Okay. Main event: Carmelo Hayes with John Cena versus Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman.
Oh, this is so cool. This is really, really cool. It's clearly using the rub to build up these future stars, right?
Yeah. Well, not just using the rub to build up future stars, but also to get the eyeball. Like, at the end of the day, look, let's be real honest. Yeah. These irritating people are coming to try to, like, kacau you. Even if you don't think they're competition, you're going to stack the deck against them. Come on, man. Don't be naive.
You know what's my prediction, bro?
What?
NXT is gonna hit 1 million viewers.
I think so. I think with freaking Becky Lynch, with Undertaker, with Asuka,
Cody Rhodes,
Cena, Heyman. Look, we've seen Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. We know it's going to be a banger of the match, and they are going to go all out. Can you imagine the pressure on these two young guys? By the way, if you think about it, the pressure on them. They know that they are going head to head with whatever main event. It's probably going to be Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus, right?
Yeah. But they are still in the environment of NXT. I feel like they still have that safety blanket there.
Yeah.
Having this gives new eyeballs, yes. But I think, don't you think they're gonna perform like crazy, knowing that they got the backing of Heyman there, they got Cena there, or it's gonna be a great, I think, experience for these young studs.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, it's probably going to be a great match. So match for match. I think the match I want to watch is this versus Adam Copeland and Luchasaurus in terms of a wrestled match. You got two young studs versus a green monster and, Edge.
Bro,
who's slightly older.
Edge is gonna turn 50 this month. How crazy is that?
I mean, kudos to him, man. He looks incredible, to be in ring shape at that age. Age is not easy, but you got two young studs gonna put on a hell of a show with John Cena and Paul Heyman. Like, if I had to make a choice, right? If it was that situation in the moment, which do I watch? I'm watching NXT's main event.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean, everything that you're saying about NXT is not no lies were said.
No lies. Tell me if I'm telling lies. Now, here's the thing. Yeah. My call is that Undertaker shows up right at the end.
But for what?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So you have the stupid gong, and then he's not going to show up at the start. He's not going to show up in the middle. There's no point. The whole idea of having someone this legendary make an appearance is that you drag the anticipation all the way to the end. Who did what's his face? And this goes back to your point. Who did what? Damn it! I forgot his name. Baron Corbin fight last.
Corbin.
He beat.
He beat. Wait! Don't tell me. He was it the Von Wagner guy? No.
No.
Oh shit! I forgot, bro.
He beat Braun Breaker, what?
Oh yeah, he beat Braun Breaker at the start of NXT No Mercy, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, there is sort of like an underlying issue. I'm not saying he will get involved and cost Braun Breaker or something, but there is some sort of a link. You know what I mean? There is a reason for him to show up for whatever reason, and Undertaker can make a save. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, Undertaker is retired. I don't think he will do anything physical. But you know what? I would really love Undertaker to come back just to be like a part of a storyline, like a faction, or he create his own like New Age Ministry of Darkness. You know what I mean? Like he can do the MVP role. He can do the Paul Heyman role.
Oh my god!
Why not?
Bro, I don't think he should appear on TV weekly. He to me is a special attraction. You see once every 2 years You know what I mean? Him showing up with these guys, same for Sting, same for any of these legends. The more you use them on TV, the less their value is.
Okay, fair enough.
To me, yeah.
So I think
Dave
is it going to be a one-off?
Yeah, for sure. Dave Rowdy says Undertaker should show up at the beginning as a counter to AEW being advertisement free. Undertaker passing his bike to Baron Corbin. I bequeath you my motorbike.
Oh no lah, Daniel. Dear God, yeah, that'll be funny.
Do you think that advertisement free is that big a deal? I guess maybe it is if you're watching like regular TV. But I think that Becky Lynch is big enough to take the eyeballs. Cody Rhodes, big enough. You know, I would start the show with Cody Rhodes.
Well, I think advertisement free only matters when people are looking at the quarter breakdown for that half an hour.
Yeah.
Like so basically quarter 1 and quarter 2, if they see the fans climbing during that segment, then probably it makes sense. But the thing is, I have no idea what AEW would do for that quarter. Are they gonna have the Adam Copeland Luchasaurus match to start off the show?
Maybe just to get people's eyeballs on it immediately, right?
Yeah, probably. Adam Copeland's first ever wrestling match in AEW. That could be the selling point.
So this would be very typical of Dynamite's ratings. You start high and then...
Yeah. Well, you know what? If tomorrow was a national holiday or like we weren't doing shit, I don't think there will be any issue. You and me sitting down, we probably have 2 screens up and watching and reacting. That would be dope.
That would be.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. Once again, our experience is completely different. We are going to watch this after the fact, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a choice we have to actively make. Whereas for the people in the US, this is actually a choice. And how exciting it must be, bro, for them. To be able to, let's switch channel. Of course, like these days, you probably like watch one on phone, one on the TV. But
for sure lah. No. I think it will be great for them. It's a great experience. For us, I think we'll probably want to know what happens after lunchtime. We'll probably be texting on the Discord group. So guys, make sure get involved there. Let us know. Whoever's watching live, I envy you, bro, because either you're not working or your job starts in the afternoon or you work from home.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, let us know, man, the results and see how everything's going live. We'll be really, really happy to see that.
Honestly, I'm going to try as hard as possible to stay off social media so I don't get it spoiled. But I feel like it's impossible. It's impossible in 2023 to not get spoiled. The second I open TikTok, it will be like, oh my God, Undertaker beat up so and so.
You know what, Mr. Young? Tomorrow, don't on your phone until 1 o'clock.
Cannot
Don't on your phone until 1 o'clock.
It's important. And the worst part is, NXT doesn't update their show until the next day.
Oh, yeah. So
on the WWE network.
You only can watch it like Thursday morning or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So impossible for you at your job to kind of avoid phone. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So, okay, like it is what it is. I'll probably get it spoiled. But if anything, like going back full circle, right? This has created an environment where it's exciting. Like competition breeds competitiveness. They have to pull out all the stops. And, this is what we live for as fans of entertainment, right? And I noticed I didn't say wrestling. This is entertainment.
Yeah. Oh my God. Daniel has a terrible suggestion. Baron becomes new American badass.
Oh, bro,
Undertaker stop hand over.
Stop it, bro. Cannot, bro. No, but what the hell could Undertaker be doing? That is the big question. Like, obviously we know it's to draw eyeballs, but to do what? How can they possibly write it in a way where it's not lame AF?
I wouldn't be surprised he just appear, he smile at the crowd, he walk back. I mean, that would be typical of WWE.
He just appears in the ramway and then disappears. That's it. Nothing.
Isn't it essentially what was his retirement that pandemic year at Survivor Series?
Yeah.
He just go there, he rest in peace, show a hologram of Paul Heyman and that's it. Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer,
yeah. I mean, he had literally, I'm trying to look at everything, right? Like, what? Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker.
You know what? We'll put a poll. on Instagram. Like, what do you think Undertaker's gonna do now? Give us your best answers.
I know. Who recently got a horrible concussion that made it look like he almost died?
Von Wagner.
He brings Von Wagner back from the dead. He's the new dead man. This is my new zombie. And then Von Wagner come out. It's the new Undertaker, bro. Von Wagner.
Actually, Von Wagner looks a bit like Isaac Yankem, bro. I think could be the long-lost brother.
Having come out with a trench coat, he got long hair, put a hat on him, can't tell. Bro, maybe it's Von Wagner all along. dong, and then Von Wagner come out dressed as the Undertaker.
Don't give Shawn Michaels ideas, bro. Don't give him ideas.
And then what? Boo! That would be like mega backfire.
The fake Undertaker, fake Diesel, fake Scott Hall.
What was it? The Underfaker, bro.
Oh,
Von Wagner returns to feud with Braun Breaker as the Underfaker.
Bro, your next meme, go fuck yourself, Underfaker.
Okay, but yeah, once again, it's going to be interesting to see how they manage to pull it off. I'm a little bit, but you know me lah. I'm trained to expect a more solid show from NXT, and that's why NXT will be the one I watch first, followed by AEW. What about yourself? Actually, I haven't.
I would probably watch AEW first.
Okay.
I think because AEW is easier for me to watch as a watchwrestling.com, guys. Whoever needs to watch illegal streaming, just let me know. Yeah, watchwrestling.com. Yeah, so that will stream live, right? I'm not sure whether I'll be working from home tomorrow or will be in office, but usually what I do, right, if I'm in office, right, I have 2 huge screens, right? Okay. I got my huge ass white screen, then I got my laptop screen. So my laptop screen, I will play and stream stuff, then I will put a super small window. Super small one, only at the corner near the shutdown sign, bro.
Yeah.
No one would know what I'm watching. So, and I will have my earpiece on, so it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Well, I hope nobody in your office listens to this podcast because you might have just spouted yourself, but that.
I'm pretty sure nobody in my office knows or does care about my podcast because all of the 10 people here, I know everyone of you guys, so it's all good.
Chat, please disregard and forget the past 1 minute of whatever foreigner said. It didn't happen. It's not canon. He's just joking. He's joking only. It's not canon. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, I will be going to Taiwan for a bit of a vacation. I need that R&R, so we won't be doing the podcast next week. But if anything crazy happens, you feel free to come and discuss it in the Discord. We'll be back the week after next for more wrestling.
Yeah, and the best thing is, while you're away, well, whatever happens that goes down, we'll probably, we'll probably talk about it on the Discord channel. So make sure you guys are involved there. If you want to support us, do it on the Patreon. But when we come back the week after, right, Mr. Young?
Yeah.
I think that will have been the weekend right after Grapple Matches show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Amplify. So hopefully I would be there. And I'll try to get, some sound bites.
Sure.
Write down some notes so that by the time we are back, I can review the show. I can let you know what happened over there. So the local wrestling is back. So I think it's great as well. We got something to talk about after the fact.
And we're leading into SPW having a big event as well. The Lucha one. What's that guy's name? He's coming to town.
Callisto.
Yes.
Samurai del Soy.
Yes. And also your favorite, Yuki Fuki. What's her name already?
Oh, dear God. No. She's not my favorite. Please. My girlfriend watches this podcast. Please.
Oh, your favorite Riho.
No. My favorite is my girlfriend. Okay.
Oh. Okay, there you go. That being said, now everyone can feel free to clip that. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Tuesday afternoon. It's time to head back to regular life, unfortunately, but we'll have a lot of wrestling to watch in the next couple of days. So it's all good. It's all good. The wrestling news cycle never stops. All right. As always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Have a great wrestling week ahead.
Let me see you try.